Hello everybody, and welcome back, or welcome for your first time. Today I have an idea for a Eyeball Goblin sort of character, so I'm going to see what I can come up with, kind of right in this area here. I think the best way to get started is going to be just drawing a circle for the eyeball. So we're going to sketch out a circle. I want it to be a little bit bigger than what I started out drawing there, so I'll just expand it down that way. We're going to have him looking maybe inward and up, so we'll just draw an iris real quick here. Something like that. So the idea I had was that his arms and legs would be kind of formed from the veins kind of hanging down. So this one might be a little gory, but you know, he's going to be kind of one of Fuzz's adversaries or something. So we want him to be a little extra creepy. But we'll see if we can still kind of make him a little bit cute too. Creepy cute, that's what we're going for. So I'm just kind of sketching some, I'm trying to get it to make it look like it's the veins just hanging down here off the bottom a little bit. So that's why I'm kind of grabbing that curve and then just pulling it down like that. And then this is going to become his legs. So we're going to give him a couple of knobbly knees here, like so. And then we'll draw some lower legs coming down. Something kind of like that. I think that looks cool. And then we're going to give him little pointy feet, like I like to do. Something like that. So now we have to decide where his arms are going to come down. I want him just kind of hanging out. He's kind of like a little zombie type guy or something, so that's what I was drawing over here, I think. Just want his little arms hanging down. Like so. And who knows, maybe he is Fuzz's friend. You know, some people, we have those weird friends, you know? Sometimes. So they don't quite fit in. But that's okay. We know they're good deep down inside somewhere, even though they might be a little strange. There we go. I just sketched in some little hands there. I want to have them kind of look like veins, so I'm going to have the fingers kind of come down and become points. And you'll see how we make that here in a second. So then we want these lines to all kind of come up and follow the contour here. So we're just going to have them come up like so. Turn into these little blood vessels coming around. Maybe something like that. That actually looks kind of cool. Let's see. Do I want to adjust his arms, though? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Maybe I want him to be in a different position. I'm going to mess around with that real quick here. So I'm not 100% happy with the arms. I like the legs. We'll keep those the way they are. I think maybe his arms were just a little bit too long is part of what was going on there. Let's shorten them up a little bit. Do I like them shorter? I don't know. What do you guys think? Short? Let's try one more time. I think maybe they don't need to be hanging down quite so much. We'll have them kind of coming out a little bit. Maybe a little more like this. There we go. I think I like that better already. Maybe this arm back here can kind of hang over like that. We'll just give him... I'm not going to bother drawing a thumb in. He doesn't need a thumb. He's a little eyeball goblin, so... He's just got his little 3 fingers. His little T-Rex fingers. We'll draw one kind of coming back this way, I think. Something like that. Yeah. Much better. Alright, so we're going to need to give him a pupil. So we're just going to sketch in a little ellipse here, like so. And I got a little too much pencil going on there. And then we're going to give him some highlights right here. Maybe right up here. Make it look a little extra fancy. There we go. Something like that. And I'm almost thinking a hat. Should he have like a little hat? I'm seeing like, I just don't know what kind of hat. There's something coming up from his head. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, that's good. That's good how it is. All right, so next step, we're just going to give him a light erase. Very light, very light. Like so. Try not to erase too hard, otherwise you won't be able to see it. You probably can barely see it on the camera there. Now I'm going to come through with my fine nibbed fountain pen here. We'll just start working on a little bit of an outline here. And I'm just going to line right around that highlight, leave that nice and open. And then I think around this sort of iris area, I'm going to give it a dashed line. Like so. Because I want it to have a little less definition than the pupil there. We'll do something like that on the top. That'll be nice. And let's start on his legs back here. And you'll see when I pull these lines, I'll add a little bit of, you know, little curls, stuff like that. Little wobbles. So that'll make it look kind of meaty. A little more organic, right? But we don't want to get too gross or anything, so we're gonna not go overboard with any, like dripping goop or anything like that. Creepy, but cute. I think he's kind of got that like puppy dog look for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how it works. I think it's just because he's kind of looking up at Fuzz on this page. Let's draw a little something like that. And then for these lines down here, I'm going to have them come to a single line at the point and then just barely give it any sort of negative space in between them. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Yeah. Just a tiny little bit. Come down to a point, even come back up and start drawing a little further up there. Just a little tiny bit. Nice sharp point. All right. We'll give them a couple little extra lines like that, because these are all going to turn into little blood vessels and stuff through here. So, all right. He doesn't need to be perfectly round or anything. It's not important. As long as he's more or less round. Roundish. We can even add some little bumps and texture around the outside edge here. So he's got a bunch of little, you know, blood vessels coming off of him. We'll do something like this. This is almost like his thumb in the front here. That's almost like his index finger. This is almost like his pinky right back here. Just like so. So yeah, we want to draw some veins in here, but we want to try and keep it, I don't know, not too veiny, maybe? I don't know. I don't want them to look too gross. I know I keep saying that, and then I say words like veins and blood vessels, and you're like, yeah, right, dude. That's going to be pretty gross. And you're probably right. I'm just going to start by adding in some little curly lines coming down. These are going to be the veins and stuff here. We're actually going to use those as the shading here. You'll see we won't really do too much cross-hatching. Use all these little blood vessel lines to create kind of a shape. And this is my extra fine fountain pen here. And see, I've got these lines are kind of getting a little too symmetrical here, so we want to make sure that they you know, branch out and look kind of veiny, right? Don't get them too symmetrical. There we go. Like so. And I took the, this is Noodler's black in here. I took the Lexington gray out because it was feathering really bad on this paper. And when you're doing a bunch of little fine hatching, feathering is not your friend, I'll tell you that right now. just going to come through here. We're going to give him a little bit less on the top because we want it to be a little brighter up here. So and mine's turning out a little wonky. You make yours better. I know, I'm too hard on myself. That's okay. All right. Ooh, gross. He's a gross little dude. Is he still cute, though? Yeah. Yeah, I think he is. He's a puppy dog eye. Oh, God. No, don't say it that way. It sounds horrible. Okay, so yeah, coming down here, we're going to just do these little wavy lines. And these are going to serve as the texture, but also the shading, so make sure that you want to go heavier on one side than the other with them. Just slightly. See, something like that. Like, just leave like a little bit of a highlight over here. And like I like to look at it, just don't focus. You don't need to focus on the bad stuff. If you made a mistake or whatever, you're not happy with it, make sure you always be like, okay, I see that mistake there and I want to improve that in the future, but don't forget to look at the good parts. You always want to, be like, I like what I did here, but maybe over here I'm not super happy with it. But yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't forget about the good parts. Ooh. And this is the, same as the little mushroom man here. This is like a, this is my first go at it. So we will see if I decide to keep this little character design in the future. Maybe I'll redraw him a little bit. Maybe I'll change some stuff around. I'm already getting ideas of I could have the eyeball just have an edge right here and have all the stuff coming off the back maybe instead. I could experiment with that, but I could also try, like, giving him arms and legs that weren't made out of the veins or whatever, the blood vessels. It's, you can always change stuff around in your second draft. Yeah, see how I'm just carefully crossing some lines over? It's almost like cross-hatching right there, just to make it really dark. Push that leg backward just a little bit. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Like I said, we focus on the good stuff. Don't beat yourself up. If some of it sucks, it's fine. It's fine. It's not like we're, you know, it's not life or death or anything. It's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. All right. Ooh. He almost looks like, kind of like he's made out of wood or something too. It's like kind of a wood grain effect. Maybe we will add some little lines hanging off, you know? Yeah, something like that. That actually looks pretty cool. It doesn't make it too gross, I don't think. Also, I guess we could just go gross. Why not, right? Not everything has to be not gross. Sometimes things are gross. Write that on my tombstone. Here lies ramshackle. Sometimes things are gross. R.I.P. This is turning into a morbid episode we got going here. That's okay. All right, I'm actually, now that I've got that all drawn on there, I'm actually getting pretty happy with, pretty stoked on this one. I like that a lot, actually. Sometimes it just doesn't look good until it all comes together, right? You gotta just trust your vision. There we go. All right, so I want to come across the top here, and we're just gonna give it a couple little lines, kind of following this top contour, just as like a sort of like a hint of some texture up there, right? But we don't want to draw like lines cutting down across or anything like that. And then we can start to fill in our pupil here. And I'm going to use hatching, actually, in the pupil here. Just really close together. And then, like so, to make it nice and dark. And then we can do the thing where it radiates out from the center. That's kind of a pain in the butt, though, and it doesn't always look right. What I actually like to do for the iris is just go kind of perpendicular here to the imagined light source. And just don't get too close to the pupil. You can just come right up next to it like this. And then just pull some hatching out to the side like that. Or in from the side even. We'll make use of these lines, just kind of grab the edge of them here. All right, and we can grab some of these lines, and I like to kind of have it almost like fade out as I come down this way. Get a little bit lighter, if I can manage it. Maybe I'll even add some little dots in between here. Just didn't want this to be a super hard edge around here. It might actually look better as a hard edge. At least partially. Maybe we'll try something like that, just some little lines like that. All right. That looks pretty good. Should I quit messing with it? What do you think? Quit messing with it? Maybe just mess with it a little bit more. I think I want to just do a little tiny bit of cross-hatching down from the top like this. I think that's going to really... There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. Can even just give it a tiny bit more coming down here. All right, stop messing with it. And then I'm just going to come through here and just noticing I wanted this leg a little bit darker here. So I'm just going to come through and add a little couple more lines, just kind of crisscrossing. That's just going to push that leg back. All right, so last little step here. We're going to, actually, hold on, sorry, not quite. I noticed this little leg here needed a little more attention. Just right in that area. All right, little nitpicks. All right, last step, we're going to give it a sort of a bold peripheral line. Now on this one, because he has all these little lines hanging off here, I'm gonna avoid those. So I'm just gonna kind of do the overall outline, and I'm gonna avoid his fingertips and the tips of his toes here. So I'm just gonna grab this edge right here. We're gonna follow this down. Just like that, kind of taper out. Just like that. I'm gonna come down here. Follow that edge. And that one. Oh, careful. Careful there. That's a juicy pen. Juicy. All right, we're going to follow this line because this arm is behind. So then we're going to just grab that little edge there like that. It's very subtle. And then we can continue from up here. Like so. And hey, that adds a nice little bit of pop. Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, all that YouTube-y stuff, if you feel so inclined. And I would like to say a special thank you real quick to my patrons on Patreon. You guys make it possible for me to keep my lights on just a little bit longer, all that kind of stuff. So thank you to all my patrons. If you're interested in the Patreon, there's a link down in the description and at the end of the video here. And I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye.